Well, good evening, Internet. This was a false start, but it's happening now. Welcome to this evening's edition of BOOKWARD BOUND, my 301-day journey in order to write a brand new book and publish a brand new book on Amazon's Kindle Direct Publishing platform. I'm a little bit discombobulated because I started doing some stuff and then I had a false start and now I'm getting back going. Well, it doesn't really matter because this is all about one very specific thing. And actually, I'm going to hit a light up here. Hold on. Not that it makes a terribly huge amount of difference, but I did have to have my hair light on behind me. Otherwise, my hair would look a little flat and a little dull. Well, not really, but anyway, it's time to get going on this thing because I've only got, let's see, today is the 28th. Let me do a little back of the envelope here. 27th, 28. Last night was episode 296 with 5 to go. And this is episode 297 with 4 to go. Holy moly. Now I'm getting really nervous because I got to get this book done. I mean, seriously, I got to get through this. Fortunately, I'm in really good position because I've got the book right here. A print copy, you can see it says right there, not for resale because it is a proof version of the book. And I've been going through it. You can see where I am right now, fine-tuning it, taking all the extra commas out and getting rid of some of the useless material that I have written in here because I have, believe it or not, written some useless stuff. But that's to be expected with any book, especially when you're doing it on screen. Because once you get it off screen and into a book, everything becomes apparent. Everything that's not needed becomes really apparent on the paper, on page, rather than doing it via the screen. So that's what I'm working on. I'm on page-ish. Let's call it page 184 at the start of Sarah Townsend section, which is actually page 188 or 188. So first off, I have got to figure out whether that, hang it, where to go? Whether this page, come on, work with me, Pages. All right, it's not Pages, it's Microsoft Word, which I absolutely hate. But I'm very close. There we go. And I need this to be good. A right reading page, which it is. So I don't need to do anything there. And then I go to the next page, which is all about Sarah Townsend. And I don't have a lot of changes on this page, but I do have a few, one or two. A new from across the sea. Since there's only one sea involved, I don't need to have multiple seas. It's the Atlantic Ocean. That is one sea. And that's good. Down here, via Twitter, see if she'd like to be a guest. Yes, she would. Only a couple changes on that page. Next page. Previously. I personally don't know or have not spoken with previously for the pod. So fingers crossed. No, the fingers crossed. No comma. Was replaced with delight. Dun, 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 dun. Who she is. Comma. Don't want to overdo my long dashes because it is my favorite punctuation mark. Long dashes, M dashes. So I need to be a little bit more judicious in their usage. Otherwise, there's too much chili powder in the chili, if you know what I mean. All right, operational tasks. Because got rid of tasks, I think. Operational systems and processes. Systems and processes. Don't need a comma. She needed. When I said I was going to get rid of commas, I wasn't kidding. Has always been a misfit, I guess, period. And again, I'm taking a little bit of liberties with the transcript. I just think I just wanted blah blah. And about my upbringing in terms of how difficult it was financially. And that, make that a comma. And a lowercase a. And that I wanted to be able to stand on my own 2 feet. My parents were not well off. So let's see if I can do this. If I can condense this typography just a quarter of a point, I might be able to get that word that's hanging off by itself, the orphan. That's what's called an orphan, 0.25. Condensed, okay. Yes, it does. And then if I can just take out 1, 2, 3. Just tighten up the leading between each paragraph. I think I can probably get that line. Yes. Good. Used to say play. I didn't get to put that into play in my career until started working in marketing about 4 years into my career. That's why I'm getting rid of that. Until I started working in marketing 4 years into my suits to a T. I've used that construction elsewhere perfectly. Suits her perfectly. The thing I really love about her is that she had the guts to do this. La la la. Not everything is the right fit for every person. It's always been very much about fit for me. That's bolded. So let's read this sentence. Sarah quite clearly knows who she is. Quite clearly knows who she is, and whether she knows it or not, she did the heavy. She. Who she is, and did the heavy lifting. Gotta get rid of that. It's kind of tortured. Quite clearly knows who she is, and did the heavy lifting. Did the heavy lifting of defining her personal brand years before Tom. Now she's doing it. Blah blah blah. And we get all of that on this page. Ooh, that's going to be tough. Bing, bing, bing. Now she's sharing what she's learned over the years. How about we do this? Force it onto the next page. Yep. Got a break there. Oops. Breakdown there. Dang it. Sorry. Should have had it showing that instead of you just staring at me staring at a screen. See what happens when you start getting too focused. It's too laser focused on what you're doing. Friend Balash. Balash. Oops. That look better. Do I like that better? Hey. I want to get 2 lines up. I'll leave it like that. I should read this closely, though. Everyone is unique, but some might just have a little bit more unique about them. I'm thinking specifically about my friend Balash. Born in Hungary and a fluent speaker and writer in English, she lives and works in Karlsruhe, Germany, for an online marketplace dedicated to fine wristwatches, and writes for a digital magazine based in the Netherlands that focuses on the same. Unusual? Yes, just like the road Balash took to get. You can hear all the details about that, about his worldwide journey. It's not just Euro-wide. World. Thank you. Journey in episode 66, 67 of the Nonfiction Brand podcast. But the point I'd really like to make about Balash is the deep introspection, the deep introspection he employed long before he wrote his first article. about wristwatches. As a college... this should all be part of the same paragraph. As a college student in Hungary, he took the standard route most do. As a student in Hungary, through college and into a career. In spite of earning a degree in English language and literature, he, like many overqualified graduates, began his professional career in an entirely unrelated discipline. In Balázs's case, it was the hospitality industry, first in the USA, then UK, Austria, Hungary, and finally in Scotland. Finally, Scotland. In Scotland, or finally, Scotland. After a number of years working at a job he frankly didn't care for, he knew something had to change, so he did something really smart. He took the time to perform a careful assessment of who he actually is and what his true passions are. The answer was staring him in the face, his watch's face. A longtime fan of top quality men's wristwear, he became a follower and fan of an online publication called Fratello. In it, he saw an opportunity to combine two of his core interests into a possible career, and so he did what the truly passionate do. Take a nothing ventured, nothing gained leap into the deep end by offering up his services to the man. You know, some people, right, when we get to the transcript, let's see what we're doing there. For these blogs, many. I don't know who, how. I don't know guys you have on the team. That's corrected. Think of it as eBay for certified Rolexes. Another fine one. See what digging deep to discover the true you can be. End of that. In his previous job. Looks good. Stephanie Lou. Moving on to Stephanie. And delivers while she's fully capable of delivering full menu of marketing consulting services, down here, greatest thing about embracing, greatest thing about embracing them. Allows question mark. It allows her to do the number one thing, blah blah. So we'll go and get that on the next page. Okay, so this is no space before. Oops. Brand, we definitely do want italicized. Okay. Yeah. We can. And then they're like, let's get rid of the yeah and just. And they're like, can you speak of my event? That's when I realized, blah, blah, blah. When I realized, wow. I could teach other people how to live stream using OBS Studio. It's for my first foray into it. Podcasting. Where you're like amazing at podcasting, I don't listen to myself. Dun 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 dun. Stephanie Lou looks good. All right, so if I shrink up those, yeah, I can probably get that up there. So what I'm gonna do, they're all pretty small. They're all pretty tight. Instead, we're gonna do this. I'll answer them on the air live stream. Streaming ways. And the results bold. Demonstrates extraordinary in one. And more. Copy. Yeah, medium. He's clearly mastered. Yep. Sure. Site. Yeah. Her website, I did. Yeah. Hit play on any of her videos there. Yeah, that looks good. All right. Paul Ramondo. Got the platinum. Paul's still in love with all things USA. significant amount of time in the States. Talking about a specific topic. Paul did a great job on a very difficult Paul did a great job. Very technical topic, but even I keep up. Several months later, I on the give it an I like one. Up that. FB Nightel. Gotta make sure to italicize all those NFBs. Technical. I had a bunch of justs in here. Just doing as much as I could to build my brand. To prove the value that my brand is able to provide my audience, and also provide Social Media Examiner. La la la. Get rid of the ellipsis. I think one of the ways you can do that, down here, I'll post tidbits from my life. I've got content pillars, which should just be reverse engineering who I am. Business. I'm on social as long as to work towards the next phase. Yeah. At NonFiction Brand Podcast. Do I want to say center it? Let's see what it looks like centered. Here's a popular saying amongst musicians and even comedians that factors here. Relevant saying amongst performers. Like that. Save it for the stage. Bach, and this will be a left read, not a right read. Remember earlier about Roger Wakefield. Waiting long. Aligning to aligning itself with her with luxury elements like the car itself. Looks to be from 1950s, which is another cool brand statement for Ms. Bach. Remember that old commercial about cotton? Oh. You remember that? What I view it is the way I view it is that real estate is a short and relationship. It's a lot of money. People don't do it very often. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this page I got to pay special attention to. Yeah. Okay. That like that. Strength. Doop. See, oh. Word is such a pain in the butt. But I think that works. Vancouver. Car. An automobile for those healthy few who blah, blah, blah. Who really do. That it's more than okay for some to not get her or prefer her services. And then, here's the thing about that. If you get a young couple first time, you're going to get them and they like the situation. Lifetime. Get that with some italic. And I think that's the end of the changes, the revisions I have for tonight. And I have about 50 pages left, so that's a couple of days, and I've got 4 days left to go, so that'll give me 2 days to actually spend final going through the book. I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, I mean, this has been a trek, but it's definitely been worth it. And I should say, if you're interested, tomorrow I'm going to be doing a whole talk about this at American Families Dream Bank online. It's going to be a webinar, if you will, at 9 a.m. And all you have to do is go to Eventbrite and search for my last name, Knudten, Knudten, which you can see spelled out right down there. And you will be able to find the sign up thing. Sign up, because then you get the instructions on how to log on and all that stuff. But it's absolutely free, and it's going to go from 9 to about 10:30-ish with plenty of time for questions. And I'm going to be talking about how I went about writing this book and doing it via live stream as I am right now. You know, some of the techniques I'm using, some of the processes I developed for myself to keep myself honest about getting this stuff done. All that stuff is going to be talked about during this really fun presentation. So I hope you'll join me for that. And also, since it's Monday, it is Monday, in fact, head on over to wherever you get your podcast and search for the Nonfiction Brand podcast, because a brand new episode came out today with Ollie Bridge, who is the Chief Marketing Officer of Bonjoro.com, which you should really check out, which is a very cool personal video service that actually can very quickly send brief emails from you to whoever you want to their email box. And it's an incredible way to create relationship with people, and really a superpower. I think you could think of it as that, a superpower. So check that out wherever you get your fine podcasts for free. Just search for Nonfiction Brand. Look for this image, the black and white photo of myself, and the words Nonfiction Brand stacked just like that. And you will have gotten to the right podcast, because that actually is the album art or cover art for the podcast. So definitely check out those episodes. This is episode 123 that came out this week. And there are 122 other episodes that you should check out as well. That's it for me tonight. I'm DP Knudten, as I said, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow at the Eventbrite thing, the Dream Bank thing called We'll Do It Live, writing a book in real life and in real time. And all you have to do is sign up on Eventbrite for that. Search for my last name. Where's my name? Right there. Knudten, Knudten. Search for that on Eventbrite, and you'll be able to join the absolutely free webinar. So I hope to see you there. That's it for me. I'll see you tomorrow night, because I still have pages to go through this thing. But until then, theme music, take us on out.